anything here. So.
Just click start. Click start right?
Mm-hmm.
So check in here. Look, we'll say right here.
All right, so we're waiting on Twitch here. YouTube looks good. Facebook is good.
Right there under your streaming monitor. 29 seconds, 30 seconds.
Where is that?
Right here. Right here.
Oh, gotcha. This is the only spot that shows, right? Okay.
No, right here. Here, look.
Hmm.
Right here. Where is it? Here, right here.
Oh, got it. Okay, cool. All right, so we're good.
Right there. You see it says live? 53 seconds?
Got it. Okay. Bye.
Alright, bye.
Oh, man. Nice to be back. What's going on, y'all? Appleman123, what's good? How you living, Adam? How's life, homie? Carl's Customs in the building, what's good? I've been waiting for someone to make a vid on this. Oh, on how to make clouds? Well, good timing, man. Today's the day, right? So last time I started to make clouds, and I don't know if you caught that one last time, Carl, but I'll show you what I ended up doing. They were clouds. They weren't exactly like your standard regular blue and white clouds and stuff, but this was more. Ooh, that's bright. Super bright. Yo, Speed and Fusion, can you change up the? It's too bright now. You can see you can barely see the clouds and stuff in this here. Gotta like angle it. So give me a sec, guys. We're gonna probably have to just adjust the lighting here. It's a little too bright here. We want to make sure that the whites aren't overpowering. There we go. That looks better. Can you guys see that okay? So it says more love. Little lady there with a nice powerful sign. All right. So we're going to go ahead now and continue those clouds. We're going to make now just some standard looking clouds. Let me show you guys what I mean by standard, because I've got a reference picture here. Oh, it's great to have a reference pic. You can get one. So you guys can see there. Almost heavenly, for lack of better words. Very, bright, beautiful clouds. You can see the sun is hitting through some of the clouds as well. So at the end of the day, I want to make something similar like this. I don't have a lot of room to work today, so I'm only going to be working on the heel cap area. Is that what they call that? Heel cap? Collar. Just this little section right there. So we've got minimal space to work, but I'm going to try my best to get that minimal space to look as cloud-like as possible. All right, so before I jump into that, man, I do want to say what's up to everybody. What's good? I'm so happy to be back, man. It's last couple of weeks has been pretty crazy. Just so you guys know what's going on over the last couple of weeks, why I haven't been streaming. I had a bunch of different projects that I needed to complete, and they all had different deadlines that were all very close to one another. So that led me to working pretty much 24/7, man. I was going day and night, trying to knock these out. We went to San Francisco last week to deliver shoes, 3 pairs of shoes there. On Saturday, this last weekend, I also delivered another pair of shoes in LA. So you guys are going to be seeing a lot of footage that you didn't see live, because a lot of these projects were either I have to sign non-disclosure agreements, meaning I can't say nothing about the project until they get them, and then they want to announce it first. Or it was a surprise, for example, it was somebody's birthday. But it's a lot of great content, and we did catch it on film, so I'm excited about that. And to be honest with you, I'm excited to be back because I miss you guys, man. It's been a minute. It's been a couple of weeks. Before that, I ended up getting a stomach infection, so I couldn't even get out of bed for a week. So we had a couple of different things that happened, and that's why I wasn't on live for quite a bit. So I'm just happy to be back. I'm relieved to be back. Glad to have the setup ready to go. And I just want to say what's up. What's good, everybody? Let me just say a big shout out to all the homies who are back. We got a lot of the usual suspects. The homie Outcast is back in the building. What's good, Outcast? Ken Plays, what's good, homie? How you living? Yo, what's up? You about to make some fire create? Man, I hope I'm making cloudy fire creations. So yeah, if you want to call them fire, I definitely want to make some fire creations because this pair right here is going to be for somebody really, really big. So I'm happy to see that we can at least tape some of this process before we present it to them. Video and sound looks good. I'm about to go eat. Go handle it, Speed Infusion. Thank you. Let's see what else we got here. The Die Lab. What's good, Alan? How you doing, bro? Get your pizza ready, homie. Flight School's in the building. Let's get it. Oh, we got the Timberland voice. Outcast said it's been a long time. Shouldn't have left us. Without a dope custom to step two. Step two. Well, I'm back, man. I'm glad to be back, bro. So thank you guys so much for showing the love and just being patient with me, guys. Flight School said what's good. Everybody say what's good to Flight School. Patreon family in the building. We got a lot of Patreon folks already in. So I just want to say shout out to the Patreon family. I know you guys have seen part 7 and the final part for the reconstruction tutorial. So finally we got the Jordan 11 recon videos all complete. There's 7 parts all in all together. The last portion, man, I really wanted to finish the last portion by myself, but my stupid Singer patcher, it just kept jamming on me, so I had to go back to my mentor and he helped me out with the last part. But the good thing is his patcher is very similar to like the patcher that I was showing you guys from using our standard patcher tutorial all the way up to part 7. So there's not really any kind of a miscommunication or dysfunction or anything. You guys should be able to still do the Jordan 11 even though we just changed the patcher up at the end. Okay, who else we got in the building, man? Recon Addiction in the building. What's good, Recon? How you living? Oscar Bonilla out in YouTube world. What's good, homie? King Lou 16 Rockstar Life. Bro, you got a long name and I really appreciate you saying you're the greatest, big bro. Thank you so much, homie. I appreciate you. Thanks for being on. Also in YouTube land. Flight School over in YouTube land as well. We're happy you're back too. Glad you're feeling... Dude, you have no clue, man. I could not even roll over in bed. That's how bad this stomach infection was. So thank God it was not COVID, but at the same time, I had to be rushed to urgent care because I couldn't handle the pain, man. Dick Santos, what's good? Big homie, Dick Santos is out in the Philippines. Mr. Pinoy himself, glad you're back. Be waiting on that joint you're working on. Keep safe. Now you keep safe too, man. Hopefully you guys are all good out there. Hopefully you're still pushing that yacht pusher's hat too, homie. So, anyways, guys, let's jump into it, man. I got a little bit of work to do. I can't show you guys the full project, but I can show you, little bits and pieces. So let's jump into it, man. I feel like the camera angle is super tight today, so I do apologize for that. We'll figure out what the heck happened to that next time. But I think this is good enough, at least today, to start working, all right? So let me get some cotton balls out. Let's get some Q-tips out. The usual when we prepare, right? All right, some cotton balls. How's everybody else out there, man? How you guys living? Everybody good? We're almost out of this COVID mess. Slowly but surely. I think we're supposed to get... results for the Derek Chauvin trial today, and it's funny because these customs are very much related to that. So interesting that we're in this time and place right now, right? Now, if that verdict comes in and it turns out he's not considered guilty, man, I want y'all to be safe, man. Stay in the house. Don't be out there like doing some crazy stuff with all these people at nighttime, man. It's gonna be wild, that's for sure. And I just don't want you guys to be involved. And I'm just saying that as a big brother, man. It's gonna be if y'all were here during the Rodney King trials, it's a very similar moment, and I'm really hoping that that justice is served, man. But I'm not gonna get into all the politics. I do know that I'm a painter, so I shouldn't be getting into all that. But again, just for you guys to be safe, I'd want to make sure you guys are good, So look at this. You could see the black paint that was rubbing off. That I do find it to be kind of interesting that the black paint comes off. And I think when I was doing the blue sections as well. The blue sections were all coming off as well. These are the they called them Chicago to UNCs, I believe, something like that. You guys could see the heel collars. That's what they're called, heel collars. Finally came up at that brain fart, dude. Just a very tight little area, so making clouds here is going to be won't be difficult. It's just might take a little bit of precision and a little bit of work, all right? And as always, you want to make sure as you're doing it that we're getting it all prepared and getting all that, because you know the cotton balls, sometimes they have a tendency of leaving all these little flakes and little hairs. Want to make sure that's all taken off as well. All right, cool. So that's feels good, looks good. Something's coming off. All right. Oh, whoa! Results out already. Guilty in all 3 counts. Wow, man. So that's how you know that I haven't been paying attention to the news. Fees G, thank you for the welcome back, man. I appreciate you for being back on, man. Outcast, guilty on all 3 counts. Oh, man, you guys have no idea how much that makes me feel relieved, because it needs to be, you know what I mean? Needs to be. All right, so now here might be an unnecessary step, but I really like to just kind of get in the nooks and crannies. That'll never hurt you. Alright, look at that. Still a lot of paint that's coming off of there. That makes me feel, I don't know, it makes me feel a little uncomfortable, because usually when I'm working on these Jordan 1s, guys, the black sections don't have paint coming off. So I don't know. Maybe they did make these different than every other pair? I have no clue. I do know where they come from. And let's just say that the dude is that sells these. He sells them pre-sale. People are a little sketchy about whether his stuff is authentic or not. And honestly, I don't deal with that dude no more, so I'm not going to say no names. But I'll just say that they feel and look authentic. I don't know. Have you guys heard of unauthenticated shoes or whatever? I don't know if that's what this is, but I mean, I'm praying that this is a real pair. But I do know that I know where they came from. So if y'all ever worked on this pair, please chime in. Let me know if you guys were working on this section and black paint came off. All right, so we're good there. Let's start to mask off a little bit, yeah. Cool. Lalo, what's good? How you living, homie? Another Patreon family in the building, man. By the way, guys, we're at 45 Patreon members. At 50 members, we're going to be doing another giveaway. You got to be in the giveaway tier, though. So I want to make sure that we're clear about that. I don't want you guys to join the non-giveaway tier and then wonder how come you didn't win. That's because you got to be in the giveaway section, dog. So yeah, 5 away, man. We're really close. So tell your friends, tell your family, anybody who you think is interested in customizing or learning how to customize. And also that Patreon channel is it's a different animal than this. It's a lot more unique projects that we work on over there. So y'all notice now I'm using this blue tape. And I'm using the blue tape here because the last time I used masking tape on this blue section here and I peeled it off, it ended up taking a little bit of that blue with it. So I was a little, I don't know. The whole idea of the colors kind of leaking off is kind of getting me feeling some type of way, you know? But then again, you know, Jordan Brand could have used a different material on this. I don't know. I don't know every single pair that they put out, you know what I mean? It's hard to be able to legit check all of them because a lot of times they'll use a different material. And so, you know, we just got to do our due diligence, I guess. Cool. And so tapes, when I deal with tapes, it's important that you guys know which tapes to deal with on what projects and what materials. Otherwise, you can end up messing up your whole project at the end. Certainly don't want to do that, right? Alright, so that looks good. And let me get some napkins real quick. Napkins are always kind of like my go-to to cover big sections up. So let me put this guy to the side so we could lay this down. Alright. So somewhere along here, you know, now you guys can see I've covered up with the blue tape, which is a lot, you heard that? It's a lot less sticky than this tape is. So what I like to do now is, if I need to cover things up, I use the stickier tape for that. So you'll see that I lock in all of this section. I'm locking it all in and locking it away from any overspray. And that's a good thing, you know. You don't want to have overspray everywhere, especially like, you know, when you undo all the masking tape. The last thing you want to see is you missed a section to tape off, and you got a bunch of overspray. That's happened to me a million times. So, just, you know, a word of advice for you guys: when we're masking off, you want to mask off right. You don't want to miss any little sections at all. All right. So let's go ahead and just cover up this artwork here. And I'll be airbrushing today, and I'm telling you guys that because when you airbrush, there's a tendency that if you miss a little section, that it can come and bite you in the butt. You see, so that's why I try to keep things really masked off, making sure I use my fingernail to really lock in any kind of tape remnants, get clean lines that way as well. There we go. So we got that first one pretty much set. See that? All the way through. And now you guys can see I've got this section here. Again, let's just grab a paper towel. Now, I already know, like, because of my experience, I probably don't have to do this section if I really didn't want to. But, you know, just for good practice, showing you guys the correct way in doing this. Y'all could see that I'm going to still do it anyways because it never hurts. And I don't have to go all the way in to the back section here. I could just tape it off enough because overspray from here to all the way here, it's very doubtful. I mean, you got to be a pretty bad artist, pretty bad airbrush artist to hit over there. Almost like you're not even paying attention. So I'm not going to go that far in. Let's just save that material. Let's lock in what we got to lock in. And now you can see here, see that top section here? You got to lock in all of the sock liner and everything as well. Now, the sock liner, everybody asks me, dude, you get so many clean sock liner lines. How do you do it? How do you avoid leaking? So pay attention because this part is important. There's two different ways that I do this, okay? I'll show you guys both ways so then that way you guys are understanding. Let's cover up the tongue first. I like to just take a piece of the paper towel and basically just cover the inside like this. You know, we really don't want to get any overspray in here as well. See that? Just kind of leave it in an area where you can see that the majority of the sock liner will be covered. All right. Now, we talked about two tapes, right? The blue tape here, this is used a lot more for covering sections that I just painted off. Still, you know, have a tendency of drying, so you don't want to put some really super sticky tape on it because it's drying, and if you peel it off, it's like waxing hair. You're going to wax off the paint. So this stuff here, sticky tape, blue tape for covering, a lot less sticky, all right? Today, because we're dealing with the sock liner, I put the blue one down. You really want to lock in the sock liner. All right, so let's go ahead and pull a little bit of this tape off. All right. Johnny Wishbone, what are you using to get them prepared and get the paint off? I'm doing my first custom as my shoes get delivered tomorrow. I'm excited and super. Dude, that's awesome, man. Congratulations, Johnny. Let me show you. That's a great question. I just kind of got into preparing and I didn't even mention what I'm using. So in this bottle, it says Airbrush Cleaner. I actually use this bottle because it's acetone in here. Acetone is super strong, so it'll strip off any, oils, dirt, grime, anything that will prevent your shoes from sticking, the paint sticking. Acetone should generally do the trick on leather. Don't use acetone on like suede or any parts of your shoe that are very like fragile or delicate. All right, so it's important to note, like when you're prepping shoes, they're not always prepped the same way. Like if we were prepping suede right now, I wouldn't be doing any of this process of using acetone and cotton balls. You'll mess your whole suede up. The other option that you guys can use, I ran out of it. I need to get some more. It's the Angelus Preparer and Deglazer. This is, I consider this like a watered down version of acetone. So if you're not sure exactly how your leather will react, this is the safer bet. All right, so just for you guys to know the difference, this is the safer bet. A lot of the times when I'm preparing, I use the standard cotton balls, and I also use Q-tips. All right, so getting little cracks and crevices, you use Q-tips. Where's my other Q-tips at? I have some other Q-tips here. I don't know where they went. It's my life. They're called precise Q-tips, and they're like very thin pen-looking Q-tips. They kind of have a tip like this here, like a pen, where it just kind of veers in, and so you can really get into like sharper edges and corners and nooks and crannies that way. All right, so hopefully that answered that question, Johnny. Good luck on that first custom. If you do need help with that, let me know. You could always DM me or whatnot. Let's see who else we got here. Frosty Spectre, are you cleaning the shoe? I'm not cleaning the shoe. I'm actually just preparing the shoe for painting. So it's kind of different. Cleaning the shoe would be me grabbing some kind of a soapy solution, a brush, and just like really wiping it down. Here, because we're getting it prepped to paint, so we're not using a cleaning solution. We're using a stripping solution. We're stripping any oils, stripping dirt, anything off of it that we can. All right. Who else we got? Oh man, the man Wade is in the building. Got your six. There goes the neighborhood. What's good, homie? How you living, man? Hopefully you're good out in New York. Let's see who else we got in the building, man. Everyone's just kind of chatting it back up. Amesis in the building. What's good, Amesis? How you living? Man, tell me about it, bro. I've been working 6 days a week. Haven't had time for customs, but just today I started a motorcycle helmet. I had to take 2 days off, bro, because my back was just killing me from the drive, man. San Francisco was like a 6.5 hour drive. So their bronze 17 is going all darker on the shoe. All darker is always a good bet, man. At least you don't have to worry so much about the light end of it. Going darker is usually an easier process, So real quick, guys, you might have to give me a quick minute. I think the postman is here. If he is, I got to just deliver these. I had some patterns that need to be sent out. So give me a quick sec, guys. I'll be right back. I think I have a I'll be right back button here, but I always forget where that's at. So just give me a quick sec, guys. My bad, y'all. All right, we're back. Cool. All right, so Dye Lab, I just saw the question. It's not a question. I can't thank you enough for your advice on taping off midsoles. I saw that you put that up on the story, man. You're getting better at the midsoles now, huh? Yeah, it's great, man. It's just an easy way to get, I guess, accustomed to getting those clean lines in. Alan, the next step is for you to start to stay away from taping off your soles altogether and just painting them, you know, just like that. Because again, like I told you, when you guys use tape, a lot of things get hidden behind it. You know what I mean? So, anyways, let's get into taping the sock liner off, and I'll show you guys how I get some nice clean lines on the sock liner. This really helps when you have, like, for example, like a light sock liner. A lot of people have white sock liners and they want to keep it bright white, but they want to do the out or exterior portion of your shoe a different color, like say for example a navy blue or a black. And so a lot of times if you don't hit that sock liner with the right amount of prep, well, prep meaning masking off tape, then you're going to get black spots all over the white liner, and it's just, man, it becomes a pain in the ass to really take all that stuff off. So let me show you what I do. Two different ways you can do this, okay? The first way is, instead of taping off exactly where that line is, you can tape off a little bit on top of the exterior portion. So I'll give you just an example. I don't have to do that today. I can. Either way, it's going to work. So for example, I have the sock liner line here. Let me pull this up so you guys can see a little bit more clearly. Let's see. You'll see that sock liner line where it meets the actual heel collar there. So you can either put it right there, or what you can do is just do it slightly above like this. So if you do it slightly above it and then you take the tape off afterwards, what's going to happen? When we take the tape off, you're still going to have a line over here that's going to be a black line. And what you need to do then is manually paint that line in afterwards, okay? Today I'm doing clouds, for example. So like this line, if I had a line there, it won't be a huge deal because I can still blot in like clouds afterwards. But my preference today is going to be to try to lock in the sock liner as clean as possible. All right, so let's jump into that first. What I'll do is I like to grab smaller pieces of masking tape, and when I do that, I'll lay it down, and I like to lay it down like on one end first and make sure that section is locked in like this. I'll use my fingernail to do that, and so when I get that locked in, then I can guide the rest of it like this. And even if I'm doing just a slight overlap of this portion here, that's not a bad thing, you know, because it's going to be such a small line that you won't see a big difference once you put it in manually, once you paint in the actual line. But what I like to do is I like to try to creep underneath that sock liner and try to get really locked in. So you guys see here, as I'm going through, I'm taking a small piece of tape and I'm using my fingernail and trying to creep underneath the sock liner. So I'm pushing it back into itself. See, and now when I feel confident that that looks good, now I got another piece of tape. So we're going to just keep doing the same process, all right? Obviously, I missed this little front section here, so let's jump into that real quick. What's nice about this tape too is it does have a little bit of a tendency to do curves. So for example, if I'm getting on a curve like this, then I'll jump on it, I'll press down, see, I'll press down like this, and I'll start to curve it at the same time, and then that way you can curve it. Now a lot of people use that red vinyl tape. That's not a bad choice either, but it's expensive and it has a tendency of not sticking as well as this tape. So I try to go with the tape that locks in the best, and plus it's cheaper too. So let's just keep going all the way around. So as you guys see me go around, you'll see that I'm not like aggressively putting the tape on. I'm just taking a little section at a time and we're placing it down, and we're looking to see where that actual sock liner is. And when you do that, you should achieve a nice clean line after it's all done. All right. With my luck, it'll end up being all blotchy after I untape this, but that's the basis of it. It's not difficult. It just you got to know how to do it, and it just takes a little bit of time to do it. You got to be careful. All right. So let's run through the rest of it. It's not a lot, so I'm gonna just knock this out real quick, and I'll jump in the chat with you guys and see if you have any other questions. But if you guys have questions, man, that's what I'm here for. Let me know. Another thing too, as I'm putting the tape on, then you'll see me curl the tape around and try to get to that paper towel on the inside, and that'll kind of help lock in everything at the end. Cool. So again, looking for any spot there that I can get it right on that sock line, in between the sock line and the collar. Really using my nail to seal that little section off. If I don't get it perfect, it's okay. You know, it's ideally you want to try to get it exactly on the line if possible. So you see me just readjusting the tape if I need to. You know, the good thing about today's project is my sock liner is black, and I'm not going to be changing that color. So if I have overspray, I can always use a Q-tip and a little bit of acetone, and that can take off any overspray that's on this tape. So again, this doesn't need to be perfect, but I want to make sure that, you know, I'm showing you guys my best practice, so then when you guys get to this, you know, section, or if you guys get to that level of, oh damn, I need to lock off a sock liner really well, you'll know how to do it. Alright, so that's looking pretty good, you know. I do sell patterns, Moises. I do. Patterns right now are for the Jordan 1. We've got Jordan 1 low. We've got Jordan 1 high. Air Force 1 low. We've got patterns for SBs, Nike SBs. We're working on a Jordan 4 pattern right now. Jordan 6 pattern right now as well. So yeah, we got a bunch of patterns. If you guys are interested in any patterns, just go to the website. That's shopfeelgood.com. And just look under the pattern section. There should be a little section. I think it says stencils and patterns. Now just keep in mind it takes us a little while to make them because they're, you know, made by hand. But once you get them, it's you know, it's great because then now you have the pattern and you can work on that size. And so just as a side note, if you order like a size 10, then it works for a size 10 and a size 10 and a half. So respectfully, it works for the half size that you buy as well. All right, they are made out of paper. That's pretty standard in our profession. So just got to handle them with care, but you know, usually you're taking care of them. They'll last pretty much a lifetime, or until they deteriorate. All right, guys. Now I'm just kind of locking this little section in here. See that? And all I'm doing here is trying to make sure that as I'm going to airbrush this area that there's no real pockets. Like I see a pocket right there. So we got to cover that up. Ideally, I'll take like a piece of tape and just cover this whole section up. But I just know that I'm not going to get that deep into it. There we go. Cool. So let me show you guys where we're at now, okay? So firstly, when I'm ducking the rest of the tape over, I'm not pulling it and ducking it. I'm just very carefully trying to flail it back so then it's holding on or grasping on to something on the inside. The next thing I'm doing is just making sure that my sock liner is locked in all the way through. If it's not, just readjust it. Yeah, it looks pretty good. And then obviously we've already masked out that bottom section there. Cool. So that's good to go. Now let me knock out the other pair real quick so then that way we can do both of them together. Ideally you want to do both shoes together if you got the same design or pattern or whatever going, you know what I mean? So let me knock that one out. Let me just check real quick, make sure that we're good with the chat. Let's see here, man. I'm good. Oh yeah, Dilab said they foot in my ass, but what's new? My job putting their foot in my ass. Yeah, that's a job, man. that's the definition of a job is they get to put their foot in your ass every once in a while. You know what I mean? Let's see, man. Tell me about it, bro. I've been working 6 days. Okay, I talked to Lalo about that. Cool. Bronze 17s. We talked to Johnny Wishbone. We're good with that. And I used the technique you advised to me, and my lines have never been cleaner. Sick, man. The dye lab also, you want to just make sure your brushes. Obviously I use Princeton brushes, and here's a perfect example of what not to do. I left a little bit of paint on the edge there. You really want to get that edge to be nice and clean. So I should have cleaned this guy off. If you don't, what's going to end up happening is exactly what's happening with this brush. You guys see the bristles on the brush. Let me pull this back a little bit so you can see they're splitting there. When they start splitting, man, it becomes a pain in the ass because it just doesn't become a good brush anymore. So make sure you keep your brushes nice and clean. Okay? I got to drop my last project in the Discord. Thank God you said that, man. We got a Discord, the Feel Good Threads Discord. If you guys haven't joined, a lot of the customizers, artists, up-and-coming artists, novices, experts, beginners, everybody's joining to show off their work. I think we're one of the only custom Discord groups in Discord, from what I know. So I'd love for you guys to join. You'll see we'll have some links up for that very soon. Usually we have some, like a robot going in the chat that'll say join the Discord. So just look out for that link if y'all see that. What else we got? Oh, got your 6 already bouncing, bro. Got to start work early. All right, Wade. Hopefully you're good. Those Borderlands AF ones were complete fire. Oh, thank you, man. The Borderlands pair was for somebody who worked for Borderlands, and that was one of the reasons why I was off of Discord for this whole last week, because I was working on those nonstop, dude. I was working on those even in the hotel room before I was going to present it to the person. So just to show you guys how long it took to make those shoes. What else we got? Enjoy the evening. Okay, so Moises, I told you we sold patterns. Johnny back in the building here says, what do you prefer for dyeing clear icy soles black? A shoe professional dye or Angela's paint mixed with Solbright? Let me show you exactly what I use. I don't use either one of those. Ugh, if I can get to it. If I can get to it. I got to it. Oh, man. Let's see. Don't spill it. This right here. Use this. Thank me later. This is Jet Black Soul Dye from Dark Knight Official. And, I mean, this dude, I don't know how he makes it this dark and this potent. But this is really, really good dye for icy soles. Don't use this for rubber soles like this. Use it for icy soles only. But yeah, if you need like any kind of dyes, I would go with Dark Knight Official. I'm not sponsored by them. They're not paying me to say that. It's just what I use. You know what I mean? So I would venture to hit up his Instagram, which is Dark Knight Official Soul Dye, I believe. And I think he was having a sale as well. So if you buy like 2 of them, you get 1 free. Something along that line. You know what I mean? So hopefully that helps you. I just got my Princeton brushes in today. Let's go! I like that, man. Let me know how where'd you get them from, Dye Lab? Everyone is asking me where to get them from. I know I did put some links up from Amazon. So yeah, cool. Johnny, I hope if you need any help, let me know. I know you said joining now. I'm not sure exactly what you're joining, but hopefully it's something that's related with us. All right, man, let me jump into this other one real quick. And this one, I'm not going to talk so much because you guys are like, man, this boy talks. All right, let me be quick with it. All right, so stuff the tongue in. Bam. Get on the blue. Split it, a couple of splits. Split them up, split them up. Yo, RIP DMX, man. I think that we haven't even had a chance to talk about that. And it's just really, really unfortunate hearing about that because, man, I used to listen to DMX before we used to play basketball, man. And I promise you, if you need to get hype, DMX would be it. he was that dude, man. So sad to hear that what ended up happening. Half y'all young bucks are probably like, who's DMX? But yeah, he was man, he just lived such a crazy life. Like, I remember there was a time, I think, where he ended up getting arrested because he was in LAX and he was posing to be a police officer. I don't know if you guys remember that. I'm pretty sure that story was true, and dude ended up going to jail for that, posing to be a police officer. But you know, I'll tell you, man, for somebody who had so much, it was so difficult to see the way he lived his life, man. It was really, really, really unfortunate to see that. And this is another example of money can't necessarily buy you happiness, right? Cool, that's good. And then I think he ended up going to jail again, and then he came out, and yeah, it's crazy, man. Like, I don't know, if I was a rapper and I had that opportunity to make that money, dude, I promise you I wouldn't be going to jail, that's for sure. But, you know, everybody has their vices, right? Now you guys can see how quick I can do this without talking. I'm just looking for certain spots where I can lock in the tape here. See that? And this is one big old piece of tape. So when you get good with it, you can manipulate the tape without even tearing it. The art of taping, huh? I think of the taping as an art. I think of even gluing as an art. Obviously, painting is art, but you know, this is a big portion of the preparation and execution of your artwork, right? Just learning how to tape and learning how to glue and learning how to sew and so many different things that we can learn. Sick, I'm almost there, guys. As you guys learn how to tape, I promise you it'll get easier. So don't get frustrated if you're taping and you still have these, you know, bleeding marks or anything. It just time and precision, dedication, you know? Dedicate yourself to becoming a better artist every day. You can do it. You can absolutely do it. But just like anything, it just takes practice, right? Cool. See, now I got the whole tape ready to go. Sometimes I even like to leave the tape. Y'all see how the tape is up like that? Sometimes I'll just leave the tape up like that. That really kind of leaves like a wall up, and then you can just leave some tissue paper on the inside, like this. See that? And just kind of lock it in. Now you got that all settled out. You don't have to worry about what's going on there. See that? How are we looking? Now you guys can see I basically did the same thing without bending that masking tape. And honestly, that's probably the better way to go out of the two. Alright, y'all, let's get into the actual painting now. I know you guys are tired of me talking. Heck, I'm tired of me talking. Oh, I gotta just mask that off real quick. That's really important. Sometimes I get so into doing the custom, I forget to mask everything off. And that's no bueno. I gotta mask everything off. Cool. Especially when you worked really hard on it, right? That's good. And we'll do the same on the other side. Again, I haven't really done too much on this side, but it's just a good idea to keep the canvas clean, because eventually I'm going to work on it. Pick this up, and now we got two sides that are all locked in. I'm going to try to keep this napkin lower than this masking tape, because this masking tape needs to hold on to something. There we go. Cool. Sick. And y'all see this little white sole section here. I really hate having any white sole exposed, to be honest. It's low though, so I think I can get away with it. So. Whew, man, that feels... Oh man, Dylab, you just told me about Black Rob too, bro. That's another... Man, I don't know what happened to Black Rob, man. I feel like Black Rob was supposed to be huge, dude. Because when Like Whoa came out, it was just a dope song, man. Everybody got hype off of Like Whoa. It was like another DMX style, you know, hit you in your face kind of a song, man. Show y'all where we're at now. That's a lot of white still drowning us there, huh? All right, let me check, make sure we're good here. Johnny, no problem, man. He said, thank you, champ. I like to be called champ, man. Oh, you're joining the Discord. Gotcha, bro. Perfect. Okay, when you dye soles, do you have to get them back icy before dyeing, or can you dye them if they are yellowed? Sneaky Ricky, first of all, what's good, man? How you living? Patreon family, I believe, as well, right? That's a great question, man. It depends on what color you're going to make the sole. So, for example, if you got a yellowed pair of Jordan 11s, you want to make them light pink. Then your light pink is going to end up looking like an orangish pink, yellowish pink, because light pink is such a light color, it will not drown over that yellow. So in that case, you would have to unyellow them first. I think you're on my Patreon channel, so you can go to there's a tutorial there to show you how to set up your own ice box at the house and just ice those joints out before you start. I definitely recommend icing them out if you do a light color. Now, we just talked about jet black sole dye, which covers everything, dude. Like, if they're like amber brown because they're from like 1995, you can even use jet black and it'll cover it well. But if it's a lighter color, or if it's like a middle of the road, a green or a blue, I would recommend just trying to ice it out at least enough where you don't see that tinge of yellow as much. All right? So Sneaky, I hope that helped you out. Who else we got in the building, man? I know we said RIP to Black Rob. Oh, man, that sucks, man. Nightbot. I do what I must. Stop posting links. Warning. Okay. So Nightbot is a bot, I guess, that we have. And I guess you're not allowed to post links. So, Alan, I know you're trying to do well, man. Sorry about that, bro. I'm sewing some wallets right now. Carl's. That's another thing we're going to be doing on the Patreon channel. I know that Flight School Customs is super amped about it. I had to put it to the side because of, like I told you, we were working on a bunch of different projects these last 2 weeks. But I've got some elephant print. I wanted to do an elephant print wallet. And in fact, I want to give it away on the Patreon channel after it's all done. So that's going to be one of the giveaways that we're looking at. Okay. Who else we got? Like whoa. All right, I think we're good, man. I think we're back in place. By the way, guys, we do stream in 3 different spots. So if you guys don't see some of the comments, it's probably because they're in a different channel. We're streaming on Twitch. We're streaming on Twitter, not Twitter, on YouTube, and we're streaming on Facebook. So we've got 3 different channels that we stream on. They're all live. I get to see all you guys in all different sections. So it's really cool to see all of you guys and interact and stuff, man. By the way, if you haven't already, please smash that like button. I always forget that we have like buttons, and I guess that should help out the stream or the algorithm. So if you haven't yet, please hit that like button for me, man. And if you haven't said what's up, say what's up. You know, everybody's in the chat room. We're all chilling. There's a lot of sneakerheads in here. They're not necessarily artists. They're just in here to say what's up or watch the process, or they're just interested in learning how to customize. So whatever reason you're here, don't forget to say what's up. It's rude if you don't say what's up, man. All right, just getting this airbrush gun ready. Today I'm using my Iwata airbrush. I really like the Iwata airbrush, man, because I get such nice smooth lines out of everything. Cool. And I'm just testing here to make sure that the needle feels like it's not stuck or anything. You can feel I can go back and forth. Sometimes there'll be paint that's lodged in the middle of this guy, and I want to make sure it's all cleaned out before, so it looks good now. Cool. So let's put a little bit of, again, I have this acetone here. I always put a little acetone in here in the beginning, just to make sure that we've got some fluidity, that the airbrush won't get stuck, you know. So, you know, just drop in a little bit there. And let's just test it. I always like to look. See, when you look in the cup, you can see how your paint or your liquid in here is reacting. Does it seem like it's going down? For me, I could see it going down. Another way you can take a look at it. See how it's spraying on the outside. Is it spraying straight? Is it spraying curvy? Is it sputtering? These are all things that you want to know before you jump onto the actual airbrush there, okay? So it looks good, man. I feel good about it. I feel comfortable. The first thing I'm going to do is, well, you know clouds are not black, so we got to paint both of these sections a light color. Again, let me just show you guys. I've got a reference picture. It doesn't need to necessarily be exactly like that, but I do know that it needs to have some highs and lows with you know, some sunlight and obviously some clouds. And so let's jump into it. Because we have clouds that are white, we've got a blue background. We can really do either way. We can go and paint this guy white first, or we can paint him blue. I think just for sake of, you know, it being easy, let's jump into white first. Oh, side note, guys, I started getting these little caps. I'm not sure where I got them from. So if any of you guys do use them, can you guys let me know where you get them from? Because I looked on Amazon and I couldn't find these. But man, these are so much easier when you want to pour paint out than actually opening the paint caps up and then getting paint all over the brim and them getting stuck later on. So yeah, these help out a ton. And as long as you just be careful with it, because sometimes it'll spurt out in the beginning when you open them up. Lucky for me, it didn't happen like that live right now, which is always a great thing. Cool. So we got enough paint in there. And let's jump into actually painting this guy up. I'm going to try to get a nice little angle here for you guys as I paint. So let me grab LK's little easel here. Oh, by the way, speaking of LK, I spoke to Jeff the other day, and that's probably going to be our first giveaway we're going to do when we're back now. Just got to figure out what he wants to send me. But I think he was telling me he was going to send me possibly like a 6-pack of his Liquid Kicks gloss coat, matte coat, factory finishes, all that stuff, scratch resistant sealers. So I hope that that's what it is, and I think that's what it's going to be, and I'm really happy to give that away to you guys very soon. Okay, so if you haven't already, make sure you're subscribed, because you're gonna have to be subscribed to know when we do that. All right, cool. So just to double check, make sure the tape hasn't, you know, kind of fallen off or taken off, and I think we're good. So let's go ahead and just jump into that first coat. Okay, for the first coat, I always like to put one shoe kind of to the side and just concentrate on one shoe. And let's get this to be angled where you guys can see it a little bit better. Let's see if this would be the better way to go. I don't know why, but I think I'm gonna do it more top down, so I gotta stand up for this for you guys. All right. All right. So let's see. What is the name of the Discord again? I'll get you the name right now, Johnny. 1 second. Actually, let me just throw it up real quick, because I know we're gonna have a bunch of questions and then I'm gonna forget. Let's see here. Discord invites. Let's go. Copy link. That copy. Link copied. And now I gotta get to... Oh man, how am I gonna do this? Let me see if I could send it to the Twitch channel first. Talk about multitasking today, huh? Okay, my channel. Live. Let's see. Oh man, how am I gonna do this? Let me see if I could send it to the Twitch channel first. Talk about multitasking today, huh? Let's see, did that go through, guys? Can you guys see that? Of course, Johnny is on Johnny's on YouTube, so I don't think you can see that. So let me just go ahead and cut and copy that real quick, and that way we can have it just in the chat in general. Come on, champ, we could do this. There you go, Johnny. So you should be straight now. Hopefully you guys should be good, and I might as well put up the Patreon link as well since we're here. Patreon.com/feelgoodthreads. You guys like my old man one finger typing right there? Still quick though, right? There we go. Should be straight. Cool. All right, y'all. So let me make sure we're straight. Eric Cooks, man. Hopefully you just saw that link, homie. I just sent that link up for you guys as well. Cooks 1203. I'm streaming in Twitch and YouTube, looking for a link to the Discord if you can help. Okay, cool. So I think you guys should be set, right? Is everybody on looking for that Discord link set? Let me know. Oh, Eric Cooks. So you did the same thing with the tops, huh? Let me know if you have a spot where we can find these little tops, man. Cool. Moises Martinez, man, that's a great question, dude. I ended up seeing a pair of Jordan 4 breads, and the person had converted them into like these Yeezy Solars, and I was in love, dude. I was like, man, I can't believe there's such a thing as customizing shoes like this. And so I hired somebody actually, and I hired that person to do a pair for me. And that dude ended up messing my pair up of Bread Forest. Now I look back at it like, dang, I don't think I would have ever customized a pair of Bread Forests. I would have just kept those and found another base. But at that time, I think the Bread Forests were really the best base to use because they had like a red liner where you could kind of make it more of a pinkish red, how the Solars looked. And it just had the right qualities of being a good base shoe. You feel me? Anyways, long story short, after that customizer ended up messing my shoes up, I had to fix them, and I didn't want to go back to him because I guess you could say the dude was almost like a celebrity at that point, and so like he was doing a bunch of other people's shoes, and it had taken him like 7 or 8 months to do my shoes, and so that's when I just said, you know what, I'm gonna try to fix them myself. And that's what I did, man. I ended up buying this airbrush. I had this airbrush, and I ended up using this airbrush to refix the mistakes that he did. And from there, I was like, yo, this is kind of dope. I really enjoyed it, I enjoyed the experience. And so I got another pair of shoes, and I did it again. I got some Jordan 5 Fire Reds. And again, back then, customs weren't like the way they are now, where it's all crazy and we got all kinds of different, different ideas and different themes and all that, like Rick and Morty and this and that. And, it was real basic when we were doing it. It was more like, Red October Yeezys. And so, like, I would just get the Jordan 5s and I just painted them all red. They came out really nice, I thought, and I ended up selling them for like 4 or 5 bills. It was 5 bills. I ended up selling them for 5 bills. And as I sold them, I was like, yo, maybe I could just keep repeating that process and make some side money. And repeating that process and, thinking I can make some side money turn into a whole career. And so now I just do this for a living. Kind of crazy, right? I ended up quitting my job. My wife wasn't too happy about. But, now she can't say nothing. Because I'm supporting the family doing something I love. Cool, so y'all see how I just kind of did that top down. And I did a very light coat. I always like to do a light coat in the beginning. I always want to just kind of mist and get warmed up, warm up the leather there. And you can see that you can still visualize the black that's underneath it. And that's just part of the process. Don't panic. Don't think that that's weird. You don't want to fill it in all in one like coating. It's always you want to do about 2 or 3 light coats, just like I just did right now. Okay. So that one's done. Let's jump on to the other one. And this should be no surprise to y'all. It's going to be basically the same thing. I do see a little pocket already. You'll see that little pocket? These are mistakes that can be avoided if you tape carefully. So if I end up spraying white this way, I'll end up spraying some white on the inside of that little pocket, and it's going to hit the inside liner there. So I'm not going to squeeze it, because the tendency is, I got to squeeze that together and close it. So you don't want to do that, because then you're going to mess up this line. All right, so don't want to do that. I'm going to just take another little piece of tape, and as I take that piece of tape, we're just going to seal that little section off. All right, so here's some tape. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Bam. Just cover that guy up. Okay. All right, guys. So let me go ahead and jump into the second shoe here, and I'm gonna just make this one a little bit quicker, just because show you guys how we did it on the first one, right? After some time, this will be like, you guys won't even have to think. You already know what you need to do here. Really need to get one of those Lazy Susans. Any of you guys have that little Lazy Susan? People are like, who's lazy? What you talking about, dude? A Lazy Susan is one of those cake holders, and it's a circle, and you can put your shoe on there and spin it around. I have no idea. It's been about 7 years. I started this in 14, right? So it's 7 years, and I still don't have a Lazy Susan. Probably because I just hold the shoe most of the time when I'm painting, I don't usually leave it here on the ground. That's another hot day in Los Angeles, man. Burning up over here. Whole studio is like 80 degrees. Just to show you guys. Wasn't a lot of paint used there. And we got the majority of this guy in white. Still a little bit of black showing. So we'll let it go ahead and dry. Armani Luna, what's good, Patreon fam? How you living, man? Art by Art Creates. I have one. Just by the name alone, I'd assume you got one, bro. Oh, you said I made it myself. That's pretty smart, man. How did you end up doing that, bro? Art by Art Creates over on YouTube, guys. And have you been on the channel before, bro? I don't know if I've seen your screen name before. Now this white doesn't need to be fully white. We just got to get it to be kind of close, Remember, we're going to be layering on top of that. Side note, if you really want to get it white fast, you can transition it by, instead of starting with white, start with a mist gray. Got that from Dylan De Jesus. Seems to transition a little bit faster, and then you'll get a nice solid white at the end. Today I'm not concerned about getting a super solid white because we're doing clouds. Alright, let's jump on that other one there. Gave this one a couple of coats there. Jump on the next one here. Oh man, it's already 7 o'clock over here. Crazy. Where you guys at, man? Let me know where everybody's from. Oh, okay, you've been here. Cool, man. Well, thanks for commenting today, man. It's always nice to see some new faces in the chat group. Art by Art Creates. Are you a customizer, or an artist, or what do you do, bro? You clearly do some kind of art. Alright, I think that this will cover the majority of the white there. So we always want to start off with the right color base, right? And that's going to be that white that we start off with. I've been here, okay, so, but I got the mechanism from the hardware store. Cut the wood and put it together. Okay, cool. So is that just like some kind of a spinning 360 knob or something like that? I think we're looking pretty good here. We're looking all right over here too, so. Just double checking the work. Maybe I'll give it both of them like one more coat just to get a little bit more of a solid white, and then we'll jump into the next section. Oh wow, that's crazy. So you're hella creative, man. Got a lot of things that you do. I wish I had that much time. You said you even do consoles? Multi-talented, yo. Crazy how many multi-talented people there are in the world, huh? Alright, so this is my third layer in, okay? So just in case you're keeping count or you're new or you want to figure this out. Third layer in, I'm trying to get into like the edges here, but not get in too hard by the sock liner. Just want to cover. If you overspray on the sock liner section, that's what's going to cause leaking. So you want to spray from a distance. Cool, that seems pretty good. And I'm pretty much out of white, so let me lay a little bit more white in here. And then we'll jump onto the next color, which is obviously going to be blue. Alright, put that one to the side. Jump onto the next one here. Y'all notice I don't use any too thin, right? I didn't use any too thin to just put into the airbrush. Usually I don't use too thin unless that paint is super thick. But this one, it just, you know, you can see it when it comes out the nozzle. It's coming out pretty smooth. It still looks pretty liquidy. So I give it a shot. Cool, so I got this all set. Got a little bit of white still in here. And that's okay because when we do clouds, you gotta realize sometimes they topple on each other. Some clouds are a little bit lighter in color than others, so you don't necessarily need to clean this airbrush out, but you do need to be conscious if there's a white in there. Got Dallas, Texas in the building. Who else we got in the building, guys? IG is a.r.t.byart. Okay, cool. I got you, Art by Art. Oh, Eric, that's cool, man. I think I did answer you, bro. Man, again, if I took a little bit to acknowledge your DM, bro, it's just because I've been super, you know, I just I guess I explained to you what happened. I've had a lot of projects going on, and it's just me answering the DMs and doing the work and then doing the tutorials, and it's just a whole bunch of drama, man. So hopefully I got to you pretty quickly. Alright, y'all, let me put this now to the side because I feel like this didn't necessarily help us out too much today. So I'm going to just put this down somewhere where we don't need it. Cool. Moises, yeah, I definitely know how to do a lightning effect, bro. It's actually not that difficult as well. There's a Travis Scott custom. If you take a look at that one, I think I taught you guys how to do a lightning effect on it. If not, I definitely did a lightning effect there. So, Eric Cooks, OG underscore, is that TOEI underscore box on IG? Is that toe box? Is it supposed to be toe box? I'm 2 times Christian. Do you know how to whitening mesh on Jordans? Which Jordans are you talking about in particular? I've seen some people do the Salon Care 40 method to clear out that stuff. Usually on Jordan 5s or Jordan 4s. I'll give you an example. Here's one right here. Let's see, is this whitened out? Yeah, let's see here. Sorry, this is really close. Let me see if I can pull a little bit of this back. That's a lot of light, man. I'm sorry if you guys can't see that, but you can see here. That's oh, he said Jordan 11s. Totally different. But yeah, this one, you know, just for reference, I did paint these Jordan 4s back in because they started to yellow. For Jordan 11s, I did get was it OxyClean? OxyClean is what I used. OxyClean, and I believe it was hot water. But if you get OxyClean hot water and you use their method on how to whiten things out, you should be able to get Jordan 11s back to a more whiter, look to them. I've got a pair of Concord sitting here that I got to do that to myself. It's my own personal pair. And honestly, I hate when mesh yellows, dude. It looks so like I need to get a new fresh pair. So I feel you on that, man. I feel your plight. Is there a tutorial using solar color dust? Crazy you say that, man. I got a tutorial coming up for solar color dust. Here's the pair right here. I'll just show you all a sneak peek if you guys are interested. This is going to be on the Patreon channel as well. This is a pair of... I should just move everything here. It's too difficult. We got to definitely pull the camera angle back here. But this pair right here, I'm going to be showing you guys how to do... how to use solar color dust on this pair here, man. And to be honest with you guys, the solar color dust is not difficult to use. You just need to figure out the right formula behind it. But this is kind of like a cause version of it. You know what I mean? So yeah, don't worry. The dye lab, like I said, we got a lot of stuff in store, man. That's one of the tutorials we have is how to use solar color dust. And one thing that I want to caution people who use solar color dust, because I just used it and this just happened to that pair of shoes, is that if you leave them in artificial light, if you leave them in sunlight for too long, it causes what's called a burning effect. And what that means is it'll turn into whatever color it turns into when it's in the sun, or if it's in, wherever section you're at, artificial light. And then what happens is it doesn't turn back to the original color. So really important, if you're using solar color dust, you definitely want to make sure that when you store the shoes, you store them in a dark area. All right. So I'm glad you mentioned that. I think it was Sneaky Ricky who said that he was working on the Patreon channel. I think he said he was also working on a pair of the solar color dust things, and I didn't know that. And what ended up happening is I ended up painting a pair, and that's what happened. It just stopped changing colors, and I was like super bummed because it takes a while for you to jump in and and paint that whatever color you need to paint it. And those shoes you just saw right now, I didn't paint those just one color. They were painted multiple colors. So I'm going to have to go back and redo the whole pair of shoes. And that's when we can film the process of ending that one particular custom tutorial, Alan. So we'll be back pretty soon, man. So what else we got? First, dude, those are insane. Second, hooray. Well, glad to hear that you like both, man. Yeah, for sure. And I'm two times Christian. You're cleaning your friends' Concords. What I would recommend is, and I, there's particular people on YouTube that I trust, and one of them is John Manolo. John Manolo has a really good tutorial on how to whiten Jordan 11s. So take a look at his methods there. I know that he was trying to do them in a very natural fashion, so I think he ended up using like things like vinegar, for example, sunlight. So he put them in the sunlight after cleaning them the way that he needed to clean them, and then they just naturally started to become whiter and whiter with the method he was using. I think OxyClean was one method that you can use, but I think that he did not use that method because he said that it seemed like it was too unnatural. Okay, but I have seen people use OxyClean. So, all right, guys, let me jump into the next section here. That's to get some blue. Let's get some blue involved. I pulled out a bunch of blues while I was talking to you guys too, and the reason why is just because sometimes you want to hit them with different sections of blues. Sometimes clouds look darker, or in the light there's a sunset going on, so it changes the hue of blues. So if need be, I have these other blues, but for right now, let me put them to the side, and we'll start off with just a pale blue. Hopefully this guy didn't. All right, cool. Some of my paints have been drying out because it's been so hot, or maybe I just haven't used them as of recently. There we go. So I got like 2 or 3 drops. Maybe I'll drop a little bit more. I'm very cautious on how much I use. You don't want to use too much. Just enough where we're using enough for the custom, right? Now I gotta set this up where you guys can see me paint the clouds. How are we gonna do that? Let's see if maybe we can do it like this, and hopefully you guys can get the gist of what I'm doing here. Always want to make sure that the tip, sometimes it'll leave white paint or whatever paint you're using and it dries. So just want to make sure that it's nice and clean. Cool. Starting to come out, so we're good. And let's put this in the order where it should be. It should be this guy here, and this guy here. And I know I'm not going to get this exactly to what the cloud should look like in that picture, but I'm going to try my best to do that, okay? So I wonder if I can maybe hitch this up a little bit, and if I hitch it up, then it should give me a little bit more of an angle for you guys to see. Give me a second, guys. Let me grab something where we can do that. See, is this going to be tall enough? Probably not. Let's try this. Oh, you know what I got? I got this box here. This should help. Hopefully this will help out. Again, guys, I really apologize that the angle isn't so great today. Let's see. Oh, that works out pretty good. Just really bright. All right, so let's start. So I've got a little section over here that's remotely more blue than everywhere else. So I'm going to start in that little section there. And when I do, what I like to do is just kind of hit it very carefully and slowly. So we're going to be doing a lot of going back and forth. now I can see some blue starting to come in. So the key is you're not just pulling your trigger back the whole time. What you're trying to do is just do little spurts of blue, because it should just be kind of misting around different little sections. So you'll notice when I'm pulling the trigger back, I'm just going to be going like little trigger hits like this. Okay, that'll help because it'll disperse the paint in little blotchy areas rather than one concentrated area. Okay. Sometimes you guys will see me painting off of the shoe and even onto the masking tape, and that's just so then that way it'll have that continuation of a cloud effect. Okay? And important to disperse these blues in different spots. They shouldn't all be concentrated in one area. It should be kind of like in little sections. That kind of gives the real look of a cloud. And you always want to start off very soft. You don't want to be too intense with the blues. Again, if you see any paint on the tip here, you want to take that off. You notice that I'm taking certain spots that are away from one another and just starting to fill in colors. So clouds have a tendency to be obviously very wispy. They're not solid, so a lot of times if you see that you went a little too far in and got them to be a little too blue, then you can always reverse that effect by going back in with a white. Okay, and you'll see that we'll be doing that quite a bit to finish these off. Only some hits should be a little bit more intense than others. So there should be hits of blue that are blue, and then there should be almost like hits that are in between a blue and a white. What is this above me here? Oh, that's the... Oh, okay. So that's just the paints. Okay, I'm just making sure that we're good on the look there. So for a lot of this, guys, it should be... I'm going to move some of this stuff now out of the way so I can show you guys a little bit closer of an example. But you guys know clouds are just very sporadic. There shouldn't be... Is that too bright for you guys? Yeah, your camera is too close or something. Yeah, I could see that, man. Like, it's way too close. So let me move this stuff out of the way. Dang, that sucks, man. I need to get this angle to be better. Let me see if I can get the... maybe I can get this webcam to be a little bit higher. I think that would work out well if I can do that. Let's see. Sorry, guys. I'm going to try to adjust this real quick. know, my admin is a little sick today, man. Otherwise, we would have had this on point. Let's see if this will help out. So this will give me a little bit more. Is that better, Anthony? Let me know, because I'm looking at the angles too, and I can tell that it's very almost washed out. And I think part of it has to do with when we're trying to change the lighting and stuff, that it looks a little too washed out and white. And of course Speed Infusion isn't here to help me out with that. Dang, it sucks, man. Properties, let me see. I'm just trying to go through and see where I can. Anybody know how to adjust settings, let me know, and I'll help you guys out with that, obviously, because I need you guys to see what I'm doing. Otherwise the tutorial is not going to make much sense being a tutorial, right? So I'm going to just try to hit this little section here with just a little bit of blue. It's too bright, right? Yeah, dang. Okay. Guys, give me a sec. I'm going to see if I can get him on the line. Man, I wish this stuff wasn't so difficult for me to learn. Yo, it's still too bright, man. Can you tell me how to get to lower the brightness?
Too bright. What happened with your lighting?
I'm not sure.
Okay, I'll tell you how to do it real quick. So on your on the window, double click on webcam.
I don't see webcam here at all. Oh, webcam extra?
No, that's the webcam extra. That's yours.
Uh,
On the left side where it lists all the devices.
webcam main.
Yeah, webcam name. Double
Okay,
click on it.
got it.
And the window at the top of where you can see configure video.
Configure video, gotcha. Dope.
And open. And then on the second tab, it's exposure. It's
Oh.
like a -5 right now.
Gotcha. Exposure.
Put it at -6.
Hold on, let me see.
Before -6, so your lighting was better.
White balance. Let me see if this white balance helps out.
The message that said I only touch the exposure and it always comes out perfect.
I don't. Exposure. Okay. Let me see if that helps. Oh, okay. Yeah. That looks like it helped out a lot. Yep. We're good, bro. Cool.
So would you put it on -6?
Yeah, it's on -6 right now.
Okay. Alright,
Apply.
good. That's
Okay.
what we had it before.
Yeah.
I had to buy it because I couldn't see anything before.
Let's see. Yeah, I think that looks good. Yo, Anthony, let me know if that worked. All right, cool. Thanks, man. Peace. Dang, I straight called customer support in the middle of a tutorial. Crazy. Now are we looking like we can see stuff, guys? Are we getting to that cloud-like look? Can you guys see that okay? Let me know so I can keep going. Way better like night and day. Okay, yeah, I could tell my camera too, man. And I was telling Speed Infusion before, I'm like, dude, when it's too white, then it's just like no one can see anything, you know. But you guys can see here that I'm laying out like little layers of blue, some heavier, some lighter, but they're all kind of interconnected. Like you can see that they're wispy and moving together. So the whole point of the clouds in this section should be going from like left to right, okay? So don't worry, we got a lot more space to go. For example, like right here, I haven't really laid out anything, so let me just go ahead and lay out a little bit of blue here on the bottom. And a lot of times what I'll do is I'll paint it on the actual tape, because when you paint it on the tape, then that overspray that we talked about, that you don't want to have overspray here and there. Overspray is actually not a bad thing here because it just gives subtle hints of blue kind of peeking through. And that's just because we're aiming over here in this middle section of the tape, but then just a little bit of that overspray will hit just corners and stuff, okay? So just a pro tip there. Well, not a pro tip, I ain't a pro, but you know, it's a tip that hopefully you guys can take advantage of. And so we're going to just do the same deal here with this end here. Give it a couple of clouds. And you guys can see it's not difficult. It's just, we're just trying to look for spacing. We got to even out spacing and just blend. Again, this tip here stuck, and it's stuck because the paint, it's all dried at the tip, so there's no way that the other paint behind it can come out. So if that happens, a lot of the times it does happen, just the paint kind of builds up. Just take it off with your fingers and just keep going. Now when we're starting to actually build a shape for a cloud, I'm going to start with the beginning, and again go real light. Sometimes it takes me time to do this because, I mean, that's what it is, you know, it's just taking time to really be detailed and make clouds. Start to get thinner at the ends. Start to become a little bit stronger in certain sections there. So then you can see, for example, like in this section here, you can see that the cloud's heavier over here. It kind of whisks off and then starts to come back, and you can see it here. Y'all see that? So it's really just about now starting to get an idea of how to shape the clouds. Sure, you can have some blotches here and there, but you do want to have some of the clouds look like they have some kind of shape or dimension to them, so then the people can actually see, like, oh yeah, those are clouds. Like, there's no doubt in their mind that they're clouds. So in this section, it's a little white. It's not a lot of blue going on, so let's figure out where we can disperse a little bit of blue to even that section out. Here I've got, see if we can make it a little bit heavier there. That sounds funny. Doesn't normally do a whistle like that, so. Not getting in tight, getting in close. You'll see a lot of tip dry when this happens, okay? Now I gotta hold the airbrush still just to do some of these, so just bear with me here. Don't forget, I'm pulsating the back of this trigger back and forth here, okay? And that just helps so that I'm not spilling a bunch of paint on the shoe. You can see here that I've got like little circles. See the circles there? So I've got to kill those out. Those are a little too obvious. That's just airbrush. And now I'll probably put another section of blue like in this little area here because it's really, really white in that section. I'll just have it creep up a little bit. Come back in, creep up. It's almost like you're trying to do like a tie-dye print. when you make clouds, because there's no rhyme or reason really exactly where the colors need to go, but you do need to know that there's a balance behind it, you know? So as I run through, I just want to make sure that you can see a balance of white and blues. How we looking, guys? Slowly starting to build, right? Slowly starting to build. And that's what the process is going to look like. It's just a slow process, but you know, this can take hours to do because of how detailed you want to get on it. Like when I get offline with you guys, I'm just going to continue to build this. So that's the beauty of clouds. Like you can continue to do this until you get it right. Thing is, there's no like real right. Like, when do you know when to stop, right? You can do this for quite some time. Same thing. Just taking out the spot. Alright guys, how do you guys feel so far? Are you guys feeling a little bit more comfortable with the whole process of making clouds? Now we gotta add a little bit of shadows. Okay. What shadows are in clouds are just basically they're the cloud, they're white, but they have a little bit of a grayish tone to them. All right, so I know we had mentioned earlier that to get this black heel panel to look white quickly, to use mist, and mist is kind of like white's cousin. It's just slightly darker, and so it'll help bring in another dimension. It'll make the clouds look a little bit more three-dimensional. So what I do recommend is either grabbing a mist or even grabbing like a light gray. That's another option as well. Let me see if I got that light gray over here somewhere. But you know, you want to do that because in that way it starts to create a little bit of shadowing effect. So let me go ahead and let that guy dry. I haven't heard from nobody. Is everybody there still? Everybody got so quiet all of a sudden, man. You guys still there? Let me know. Speak up. Light gray, cool. So it goes a light gray as well. So let's jump into that light gray next. I do need to finish the other shoe, so let me go ahead and clear out the. Well, let me show you guys first what the difference looks like. How can I do this? I guess this way would be the way. You can see how this one here doesn't have the same amount of blues. But this is a good comparison for you guys so you can see how really deep we got into using that blue and creating more of a cloud effect. Y'all see that? And it doesn't have that much. We've just started to establish blue versus now we've definitely got that blue. We've got different whiskey looking clouds there. Right, so all right, so let me go ahead and drop this next one over. And again, guys, I say it's simple, and I say that, yeah, it's a piece of cake. It's it's not a piece of cake. I'll go back and I'll tell you, it's not a piece of cake. You do have to learn how to use an airbrush. You do have to learn the control on an airbrush, you know? So it takes time. Also, sometimes when I'm holding the trigger, I won't do this little motion of pulling the trigger back and forth, you know. Sometimes I'll just very softly and just barely tap it back as I'm putting the pressure in, and that'll give me just, really soft, delicate lines if I need them. Kind of like a blend, you know? So here goes like a blend right here. You can see that it's not hitting the shoe super hard. And I can develop lines and stuff. I can create shapes. But at the end of the day, you don't want to have hard lines. You want to avoid any really harsh looking, blues, harsh shapes. Remember, they're whiskey clouds, right? So you want them to look very soft and almost like you could sleep on them. Here I'm going to try to get a little bit of a sharper edge here, just to guide and shape more of a cloud look here. Again, I'm gyrating the needle back and forth. It may not look like it, but I am. Just because it's so light when I'm doing, I'm just barely pulling the trigger back. I'm doing like little hits like this. Okay, and that'll just limit how much paint comes out of this front end. That's why I do that. So we're getting there. Now we got to finish this end up. Move those two over. Notice that all of my clouds have been kind of more of a left to right, right to left kind of a look. Not really up and down. The top here and the bottom here, you can connect them, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to get them to look like it's like one cloud here. Because it's a little tight spot, I'm going to have to really just put the shoe down and try to get it. Cool. I think we're pretty much there. So what I'll do now is just add a little bit of shadowing. And hopefully I can peel this off, because I do want to show you guys somewhat of a finished result, you know? Whew. And I just realized that it's time. Gotta break my fast, yo. I'm so sorry. It's already 7:30. But what I can do is I'm gonna just go ahead and peel this off, guys, so then that way we can take a look at what, you know, pretty much the final result looks like. I do need to obviously clean up, and I've got some more lines to define here. So let me just go ahead and show you guys where we're at today. If I need to continue it tomorrow, I probably will. Hopefully you guys will be available, and we could finish up tomorrow. But I do want to show you guys where we're at. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to probably retape all this stuff tomorrow, but that's no biggie. Go ahead and just take this off here. Really don't want to take off this top, though. I'll just keep that up there. I think you guys will have a good idea what it looks like. And then also, by the way, if you ever take something like this off and you know you got to retape it, so what you do is you take it off all in one piece like this, and then that way if you ever need to put it back on, you can just drop it back on with no problem. There we go. See, that's one whole piece now. Just put that one to the side. And this is where we're at with clouds. Again, I need to add some grays, you know, just some light grays. Usually what I do with the light grays, I'll add it on the bottom end of the cloud, because then that's what will give you that shadow-like effect, all right? So just for reference, guys, for some reason, if we finish this up or I can't show you guys the end product, now we got clouds. What do you guys think? How's that look? Does that look cloud-like to you guys? I like creating clouds, man. It's fun. It's fun to see the progress, you know? All right, guys. So I gotta let you guys go. And I didn't even realize it's so late, 7:45 p.m. over here in LA. But before I let you guys go, do you guys have any questions about the clouds? Do you guys have any questions in general about customs? Please, this is your time. I'll give you a couple of minutes. Time 7:46 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Los Angeles, California. Another beautiful day, and another beautiful day to create. So I'll give you guys a couple of minutes. Anthony, I just saw your comment. Just watching you, bro. It looks simple, but yeah, man. I'm not gonna lie, man. It's not like a walk in the park. For sure, it's not a walk in the park. You know what I mean? Yeah, it does take time to learn how to control your airbrush gun. You can also do this with paint brushes as well. I just chose to do it with airbrush just because I like the way the airbrush kind of lays out clouds. It lays them out where you don't have really any like you don't have to put too much effort in making them. You know, the airbrush is really good with creating blends and things like that as well. So all right, y'all, let me know if you guys have any questions. Time again is 7:47. If you guys don't have any questions, I'll let y'all go. But we're back, man. We're back. We're ready to go again. Ready to grind. Got a couple of new shoes on the way. Always busy, man. Always busy. So thank God. That's a blessing. You know what I mean? If you guys, for some reason, have questions and you forgot them or just ran across your mind after the stream is over, don't forget my social media is right over here. Where we at? Feel Good Threads is pretty much my social media for everything: Instagram, Twitter, Patreon, Facebook. So feel free to reach out to me. I try my best to reach out to everybody with a response within a day or two. Sometimes I get super jammed. Like, for example, this whole last week, we were in San Francisco, so it wasn't just easy for me to get to the DMs and answer all the emails and stuff. I do get a little overwhelmed, for lack of better words. You know what I mean? So, all right, y'all, I'm going to give you guys one more minute. Let me know if you guys have any questions. I think that, where are we at with this? Yeah, it looks like it's got quite a bit to go. So, pop in a little bit more here and there. Anthony, thank you so much, man. I appreciate that, dude. He said, Anthony said it looks really great. Are you going to be live tomorrow? Moises, I'm going to try my best to be live tomorrow, man, for sure. Just depending on the schedule. I got to finish these kicks up regardless, man. So, whether I do it with you guys or not, they got to get done. So, I'm hoping to be live tomorrow, so I'd love for you guys to join me tomorrow as well. Probably about the same time as today, but maybe a little bit sooner. I would say something along the lines of like 4:30, 4 o'clock if possible. I'd love to do that Pacific time, so that would be about 7 p.m. Eastern time. And then, man, there's people from all around the world who are watching, so thank you guys. I really appreciate. Some of you guys are watching at like 2 a.m., which is like just nuts to me. And I just can't be feeling any more blessed to have people, give you that respect and believe in you, watching at 2 in the morning. Feels like watching Bob Ross. Happy clouds. For real, Eric. I mean, the whole point of this section here is in the music video, they are going through some clouds, almost like they're going to heaven. So that's the point of this part of the tutorial, or this part of the actual custom. Is you can see the top part of them is them almost going through clouds to go to heaven, but then the bottom portion is just anarchy and chaos, and there's rioting and fires going on, and you can see the police on this side, and then the other shoe is protesters on the other side. So it's a really I would say artistic version of putting a music video onto a shoe. And so I'm going to be really happy when I'm done with the shoe, because then we get to present the shoe, and I love to see the reaction of everybody. So speaking of reactions, San Francisco was a trip. It was an amazing journey over there. We got 3 shoes out there. Flip My Kicks starts back again this coming month. We're going to be doing editing this week, so it's going to be 3 pairs of shoes in one episode. And then we're hoping to catch our last guest for Series 1 of Flip My Kicks. If you don't know what Flip My Kicks is, it is basically a show that we have on YouTube. What we do is we take pairs of shoes and we surprise celebrities, athletes, entertainers, influencers, whoever it is that day that we have on as a guest. And we get to film their reaction when they unbox a pair of shoes that they didn't expect. So we've got some super dope guests coming up. One of them is 3 of them are from San Francisco, which is going to be our next episode. And then our finale is going to be, we had to look for a girl sneakerhead, man, and I found one. Really, really dope person in general. She's from Chicago. So you guys will see the last episode airing after that. But we still have to schedule entertainers and celebrities and all these people. It's really hard to get them in one place at one time. So we still need to get her to unbox her parrot cake. So we haven't even done that yet. You know what I mean? So Anthony Kieran, where you at, man? 10:51 on the East Coast, homie. New York, Boston, Boston. That's a bad accent. But thanks for your willingness to give back. Yeah, absolutely, man. To us that want to learn or just enjoy watching you. Have a safe and blessed night, my brother. Man, Anthony, you couldn't have ended this on a better note, bro. Thank you so much, man. Everybody, man, Patreon family, everybody watching on YouTube, everybody watching on Twitch, everybody watching on Facebook. I couldn't do all this stuff without you guys, man. So I appreciate you guys so much. Look out for tomorrow, man. If you guys haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. If you guys liked the tutorial, you guys enjoyed making clouds today, please hit the like button, comment below. Let me know if this went through okay for you guys. Was everything clear? I know we had a little bit of difficulty with lighting today, but that shouldn't happen on the next one, y'all. So with that said, guys, my name is Suhail with Feel Good Threads. The social media is up here, but y'all will probably see me tomorrow anyway. So I'm out of here, guys. Peace.